we now see an overwhelming, almost unanimous vote in the US House of Representatives to force the DOJ to release every single file they have on Epstein. Joining me now is Jeffrey Epstein's former lawyer, Alan Dershowitz. Alan, thanks so much for your time. What do you make of this? What do you know is in these files that you want the world to see?
Well, I've been in favor of having all the files released for years and years and years. I don't want anything redacted. I want to make sure that the accusations are released, but also anything that in any way challenges the credibility of accusers should also be released. I'll give you an example. Among the victims today that was discussed at the press conference is a woman named Farmer, and Farmer has accused several people, all of whom happen to be Jewish, and this is what she has said. I have a hard time with the Jewish people. All the Jewish people I have met are pedophiles who run the world economy. They're Jewish supremacists. So, when she makes accusations against Jews, at the very least, we should know that she's also said these horribly anti-Semitic things about all Jews. And the same thing is true of another woman named Sarah Ransom, who was accused Bill Clinton, Hillary Clinton, Donald Trump, saying there were videotapes of them having sex with young children. She ultimately admitted it was all false. Look, most of these accusations are true. But under the Australian legal system, the American legal system, the British legal system, you give the opportunity for the person accused to at least respond and show there's questions of credibility. But now some senators and congressmen have a new ploy. What they've said is they're going to release the names of the accused people on the floor of the House and the Senate, and thereby preclude them from suing anybody if they have been falsely accused. That's what's called McCarthyism. So what we have is a balance between true accusations and punish the people who are honestly, truthfully predators, while making sure that innocent people have an opportunity to prove their innocence.
Right, that's a really good point, Alan, as well. But I think the world is just desperate to know what is in these files. We've had leaks over the last couple of months, these piecemeal strategic leaks, I would say. What is it? Are you willing to tell us what you know is in these files that you think is most important? What are we about to see?
Well, we know that there have been some prominent people who have been named, people who have been former senators, former representatives to the United Nations, former prime ministers. What we don't know is whether the accusations are true or false. And now we've heard there's another list of 20 people. And on the list, for example, is described a magician. I happen to know who the magician is. He's a very prominent magician. But he didn't do anything wrong. He just knew Jeffrey Epstein. So we have to be very, very careful about how we deal with these disclosures. Everything should be disclosed so the public can know what the allegations are. But what we shouldn't do is have partial disclosure, leaks, just mentioning the names without also giving the people who have been accused an opportunity to respond. I was accused. I had an opportunity to respond. And the woman who accused me tragically has died. And I have tremendous compassion for her and for her family. But she ultimately acknowledged that because she was young, she may have misidentified me and confused me with other people. So I think the same opportunity that I had should be given to other people as well.
Well, how do you do that, Alan? Who should? I mean, we're talking about a treasure trove of files here. How will they be released, and how do you ensure that there is a custodian, that it's not released in this crazy way where people can pick and choose what they want to report and release into the world?
It's going to be very hard because these things tend to be released in large amounts, and then the media goes through them. We saw what happened to the former president of Harvard, Larry Summers. His emails were released. It didn't suggest that he had done anything wrong, but it showed perhaps he had engaged in bad judgment and asked Jeffrey Epstein for advice about his own personal life. And he's now had to leave many jobs in public life, and his tenure at Harvard has been questioned and challenged by Senator Warren. And so what's important is in a country that believes in the rule of law and civil liberties and is against kind of McCarthyism, that we strike the appropriate balance. It's hard to do because there's so much political pressure today, and everybody of true victims, true survivors. I am too. Everybody should be, but we have to truth in order to make sure that people are not falsely accused.
Alan, just quickly, is this going to bring down some big names?
I don't think so. I think the big names have already been revealed, but you never know. It has had a big impact on the life of President Lawrence Summers and perhaps other. And so we have to make sure that we have an appropriate balance. And when you rush just to release thousands and thousands of pages, the decision maker is the media. They decide who to focus on, what to focus on, and they tend to be on the most salacious accusations without doing the independent investigation necessary. Every woman who makes an accusation should be believed to the point of doing a complete investigation to see whether or not the stories are absolutely accurate. And if they are, the people who are responsible should be punished. But there has to be an investigation in every case. Nobody should simply be allowed to accuse on the floor of the Senate and House, and then there'd be no accountability. So let's strike the appropriate balance. Let's make sure the bad guys get punished and the good guys aren't punished for something they didn't do.
Okay, Alan, great to talk to you. Thanks so much. We look forward to those files being released.
Thank you. Me too.